All right, Ryan, I just want you to call out guys in the class's names when I tell you to, okay? Just call out someone in the class's name. Right? You could do that, right? No, I'll say. Just call on him 32 times. I would really do Lorenzo, but you know, if you want. All right. Give me a name.
David Bonham.
David, one of the 4 market failures. I couldn't hear you. All right, externality, both positive and negative. Dave, call out a name. Second market failure. Monopolies. Okay, monopolies are a market failure because price is higher than MR equals MC. Okay. Okay, third market failure. Public goods. Yell out a name. Fourth one. Okay, unequal distribution of wealth. John, what type of tax best solves the unequal distribution of wealth? All right, the progressive tax. All right. Call out a name. Yes, sir. All right, so they are monopolies, externalities, public goods, and unequal distribution of wealth. Mr. Harris, call out a name. Lorenzo, characteristic of a natural monopoly. Don't mumble it to him. That's not helping him. MC under ATC? Yes, MC under ATC. ATC downward sloping. Both are an example of a natural monopoly. And I think I have the and there is an example of the natural monopoly. I think it's important to know I got you 1 second. ATC crushes demand, fair returns, early economic profit. MC crushes demand, socially optimal, more monetary return. Yeah.
You said
Downward sloping ATC curve. Okay. So the ATC curve is downward sloping, the MC curve has to be below it. All right, Lorenzo, you could yell out someone's name. All right, will you give me a shifter of supply? All right, resources. Ryan, give me the A. All right, alternative production. Call on someone, Ryan. Lavelle, the T. All right, I'll take taxes. Give me, call on someone. All right, call on someone. No, we're on E. Expectations, call on someone. S or T? No, hold it. Look, here's what we have so far, because you do know it. We have resources, alternative production, taxes, number of sellers, expectations. An S or a T? Huh? either, what did you say? Subsidies is fine. Dan, do you want to finish this off? Technology. Okay, so redness, resources, alternative, production, technology, number of sellers, expectation, subsidies, taxes. All right. Okay, start us off on timer. Taste and preferences, which is like trends. Call on someone. Heater, I, and timer. Income, call on someone. Drew M. Market size, call on someone for the E. Luke, E. Expectations. Luke, while we have you, what's R? Related goods, substitutes, or complements. Okay? Hey. Okay. Who's not talking with the one before, or five before, stuff like this. All right, so the exam is 60 multiple choice, 65% of the exam is what we'll do today, Thursday and Friday. Supply and demand, cost, market, being a perfect competition, oligopoly, monopoly, and monopolistic competition. And that's like 65% of the exam. So I really do urge you to at least try to use either the review packet that's under the midterm or the ultimate review guide. There's also 2 practice tests for the ultimate review guide, and look at all the graphs. I think the graphs are really important on the test. All right, let's see what we got next. All right, there is the natural monopoly. All right, 4 types of elasticity. There are the 4 types: elasticity of demand, and the elasticity of demand and the elasticity of supply are similar. I mean, one's just on demand, one's just on supply, but the formulas are similar. Then we'll do cross-price elasticity, which is substitutes and complements, and then income elasticity, which is normal goods or inferior goods. All right. Is everyone good? Okay, I'm going to go over each one of them, so you're going to get them. All right, so inelastic, insensitive to a change in price. So if price increases, quantity demanded will fall a little. All right, and obviously the reverse is true. If price decreases, quantity demand increases a little. All right. So there is kind of your inelastic curve, which looks more like an I, and the perfectly inelastic is an I. There are just some examples. And I'll give you a little time if you want to jot that down. Okay. All right, so the general characteristics, few substitutes, that's what makes it inelastic, because even if you have to raise the price, there aren't many other alternatives. Necessities, again, if you need something, you're going to pay a more small portion of income. I think like one of the examples in the last slide might have been chewing gum. The reason chewing gum's inelastic, it's a small portion of income. And something required now, like gas is inelastic tomorrow. But in the long run, it's elastic. And because you have more time to figure out other things you could do than drive your car. And then, and it's important to remember coefficient less than 1. And here is the formula, change, percentage change in quantity over percentage change in price. And remember, price or the dollar is always going to be on the bottom. Okay? And it's percentage change in quantity over percentage change in price. So if you look here, the percentage change in quantity is 5%. The percentage change in price is 20. That would be 25%. So it's less than 1. So it's inelastic. And elastic is the opposite. It's sensitive to a change in price. If price increases, quantity demand falls a lot. And then if price decreases, quantity demand increases a lot. Okay, this is a flatter curve. And there are some of your examples. Okay. All right, so the general, there's many substitutes like soda, so that's why it's elastic, because if one of these raises the price, you could go to the substitute. Luxuries, because you don't need them. So if the price goes up, you don't have to buy one. Large portion of income that's going to chew away at a lot of your income, you can decide not to buy it. Chewing gum might be a large portion of my income. Plenty of time to decide. The more time you have, the more elastic the good is. Because like say with gas, maybe tomorrow I need my car to get to work. But in the long run, I can think of carpooling, you can think of biking, you can think of alternative ways to get to work. It'd be quite humorous watching me bike to work. All right, and the elasticity coefficient is greater than 1. Now, same formula, percentage change in quantity over percentage change in price. And I look here, the percentage change in quantity is 15 over the price of 10. That would be 1.5 greater than 1. Okay? So that's elastic. So elastic is greater than 1. Inelastic is less than 1. Perfectly inelastic is 0. All right. Now, the total revenue test. For whatever reason, College Board loves this question. So first, total revenue, price times quantity. So the total revenue test is what happens if price goes up. In an inelastic good, if price goes up, total revenue goes up. If the price goes up 10%, quantity demanded only goes down 5%. So the total revenue goes up. So inelastic, price and total revenue go the same way. Price goes up, total revenue goes up. Price goes down, total revenue goes down. In an elastic good, price and total revenue go in opposite directions. Okay? Elastic, price goes up 5%, quantity demanded goes down 10. So therefore, total revenue decreases. So in elastic, it's an inverse relationship between price and total revenue. And in inelastic, it's a direct relationship. And again, for whatever reason, college boards in love with asking the total revenue, both on the FRQs and the multiple choice. And then you have unit elastic, price changes and total revenue remains unchanged. So that means price goes up 10%, quantity goes down 10%, quantity demanded, so total revenue stays the same. Any questions? Okay. All right, cross price elasticity. All right, so here it's going to determine substitutes and complements. All right. Now remember, as a quick review, even though I think I'll get it somewhere, hopefully, substitutes are goods that replace each other. So if the price of Coke goes up, the demand for Pepsi increases. So they have a direct relation. The complements are if the price of skis go up, there's the decrease in the demand for ski boots. All right, let's see what we got here then. Cross price elasticity. All right, so there is your formula. Again, the price is on the bottom. Percentage change in quantity of product B over the percentage change of price of product A. The big thing here is if the coefficient is negative, that complements. And a lot of times you can figure that out without using the formula, right? Like if they say the price of ski boots go up and the quantity of skis go down, well, you know that complements, they're going up if that has to be a negative number. And then a positive coefficient is substitutes. All right, the last elasticity is income elasticity. All right, and this is the difference between an inferior and normal good. There is the formula. Remember, an inferior good is income goes up, demand goes down. Think McDonald's. Income goes up, instead of eating at McDonald's, people might eat at Outback. The demand for McDonald's goes down. A normal good is income up, demand up. So a positive number, well, a negative number, because that's the first thing here, is going to be an inferior good. And you know it's negative, right? If income is going up, quantity is decreasing, you don't even need the formula. You know it's a negative because one's positive, one's negative. That's an inferior good. And then if they're both positive, that's going to be a normal good. All right, so let me just go over perfectly inelastic. Coefficient is 0. Unit elastic, coefficient is 1. Perfectly inelastic, coefficient is 0. Unit elastic, coefficient is 1. Inelastic, less than 1. Elastic, greater than 1. And then perfectly elastic, infinite. Okay. All right. Did I put the multiple choice in your packet? All right, I'll give you a minute to look at this. Promoters of a rock concert know that if you charge $8 a ticket, 400 people will buy tickets for the concert. And if they charge $4 a ticket, 800 people will buy tickets. Over the price range, the demand for the concert tickets for the group is. Give you a minute to think about it. All right, quick show of hands. Who's got A as an alpha? We had one guy wanted to go up with his hand. We got one. B as in broccoli. C as in Caroline. D as in dogwood. Got one or two. E as in Ellen. All right. If I take the total revenue, price times quantity, $8 times 400, 3,200. 4 times 800, 3,200. Price change, total revenue stays the same. Unit elastic, C as in Caroline. All right, give you another minute to do the next one. Which of the following would most likely result in a decrease in the equilibrium price of oranges? Okay, quick raise of hands. A as an alpha. No one? B as in broccoli. D as in dogwood. Try to fake you out. C as in Caroline. All right. All right. Origins that contain trace of causing substance. That would be taste and preference. Timer, demand shifts left. Demand shifts left. Prices are lower. All right, guys. Demand defined. Guys, let's go. Demand is the different quantity of goods that consumers are willing and able to buy at different prices. Okay? The different quantity of goods that consumers are willing and able to buy at different prices. While I don't think demand is often quizzed, what I do think is often quizzed is the law of demand. And that states there's an inverse relation between price and quantity demand. between price and quantity demanded. And if you remember, there are three reasons for the law of demand, and I'll get into those in a second. I'll leave this up. You need it, copy it, and jot it down. Okay. Sounds like you got it. All right. Why does the law of demand occur? It's these three reasons. Substitution effect, and I'll go into all of them in a second. Income effect, and the law of diminishing marginal utility. All right, this is just the law of demand, me being cute. All right, the substitution effect. If the price goes up for Coke, people are going to buy less Coke and more Pepsi. So that's the substitution effect. If the price goes up for a product, consumers buy less of the product. Obviously, the reverse happens. The price goes down, consumers buy more of that product. That is the substitution effect. The income effect is a little different than I think the words lead on. It's more about purchasing power. So if the price of Coke goes down from $2 a bottle to $1, I can now buy more Coke with the $10 I have. So at $10, I can buy 5 bottles at $2 a bottle. If it goes down to $1, I can now buy 10 bottles. So it's more about purchasing power than it is about income. We got the substitution effect and the income effect. Okay. And then the third is the law of the marginal utility. Remember, utility equals satisfaction. And I'm kind of testing your eyesight here. Guys, the law of diminishing marginal utility states that as you consume more units of any good, the additional satisfaction from each additional unit will eventually start to decrease. So as you consume more units of any good, the additional satisfaction from each additional unit will eventually start to decrease. All right, shifters of demand, we talked about in the drill, so I'll just list them and go through them quickly. Taste and preference, income, which is self-explanatory, market size, if you think of a company that is regional, then they go national, then they go international, their market size increases the demand for goods. Expectations. If I know the price of cars are going to go up in March, the demand for cars will increase today because they want to get them at a cheaper price. And then related goods, substitutes, and complements. All right. All right, again, I think I said this when we did the income elasticity, but just again, normal goods, as income increases, demand decreases. Okay, and then inferior goods. As income increases, demand falls. All right. I want you to, Ryan, you okay? Okay. I want you to remember the difference in the change in quantity demanded versus the change in demand. Change in demand is a shifter. So either taste of preference, income, market size, the whole curve shifts. Now, how can I go from A to B? Two ways. There could be a decrease in the price or a shift in supply. Because the supply shifts, it's a change in supply, but a decrease in quantity demanded. Okay? So again, quantity demanded is sliding up and down the curve. Could happen between a change in price or a change in supply. Okay. A shifter of timer is the whole curve shifting. All right, shifters of supply. For whatever reason, rat nest is harder for people to remember. I will put it up here. We talked about it before, but I'll give you a second. I would say, besides externalities, subsidies are going to shift supply right, taxes are going to shift supply left. That's kind of something you could know. But there is the rat nest. All right. Consumer and producer surplus. Hopefully we know by now, consumer surplus above the price, below demand. Producer surplus below the price, above supply. They asked you to figure it out. It's the area of the triangle. It's half times base times height. Okay. All right, price ceiling. I again think of it as an upside down house. The ceiling is then on the bottom. For it to be binding, it has to be below the equilibrium. So I'm going to put the ceiling below the equilibrium. Anytime you're below the equilibrium, you're going to have a shortage. Notice I'm supplying 20 gallons of gas. I need 50. So there's a shortage, all right? If they ask you for producer and consumer surplus, that dotted line to 20, you got to take that straight on up till it hits the demand curve. Then anything above the price is consumer surplus, and anything below and above supply is producer. And then that triangle is deadweight loss. Anytime there's deadweight loss, it's inefficient. The market is inefficient. All right. The next thing is going to be what? Price floor. All right, upside down house, it's above. The most common price floor is minimum wage. Okay, there it is. Anytime you're above, you're going to have a surplus. Here, you'd have like 40 workers, but only 20 people, all companies only demanding 20. That would be your unemployment, 40 minus 20. I think I'm going to do the price controls here. Let me see. Yeah, all right, so here, there is your floor. All right, where the price control crosses demand, if I draw a line straight, above the price, below demand, consumer, below the price, above supply, producer. The white line is deadweight loss, which makes the market inefficient. I think we're out of time there. I will hit taxes tomorrow. Have a great day. Peter.